Yes, people, what's going on? Welcome to Stretford Paddock. I am Adam McKola. We're still inside the Optus Stadium. And guess what? It's still raining sideways over here. I'm under a roof, yeah? There's a roof that goes over the stadium, most of the seating. And I'm still getting caught by this rain. It was torrential when we were in the mix zone. So the rain here is crazy. It's hot at home as well. Don't even make sense. I know it's winter here, but you come all the way to Australia. You expect a little sun on your back. I expect to catch a little tan. But no, I'm running away from the rain. And we're having to wear raincoats and all sorts. Plus, it's absolutely freezing. But we are here. And the fans here today have seen Manchester United draw 2-2 with Aston Villa. Manchester United goals coming from Jadon Sancho with a fantastic volley on the back post after a well-worked team goal, which included the likes of Bruno Fernandes, Anthony Martial, Marcus Rashford, Luke Shaw, who got the assist, and Jadon Sancho tucking it in on the back post. And then when the rain was really coming down hard, Marcus Rashford had a shot which was deflected in off Matty Cash, and Manchester United led 2-0. The first half team was a strong one. We had Donny van der Beek in the midfield with Fred. We had Bruno Fernandes ahead of them, Rashford, Sancho, Martial, that usual front three. Now, there's been a lot of talk about Donny van der Beek's performance. He hasn't really got to start many games out here on the preseason tour. He got a start here today. He needs to do better if he wants to make that spot his own, in my opinion. And, you know, hopefully that will come once he gets a little bit more fitness in his legs. But there's been a lot of talk about should he start, should McTominay start. In my opinion, I'd always rather see Donny van der Beek because he shows for the ball a lot more. He's got better passing ability and all those kind of things. But in a defensive role, maybe Scott McTominay is more suited to doing that, even though he doesn't do all those things that we mentioned previously. So those two guys are going to have to fight it out for that spot. You can see why the manager wants Frankie de Jong in there. You know, someone that can play that 6 role. He's obviously more of an 8, but he can do those bits and link up the play well. And you can see why the manager's trying to hold out to get the player. Whether that happens or not, I thought, to be honest with you, it'd be done by now, and it'd be done while we're out here on this tour, but it hasn't been. So what will happen with that one remains to be seen, but hopefully Erik ten Hag gets his man. We also saw Maguire and Lindelof start at the back today, and it was a poor goal to concede in the second half when Leon Bailey cut inside. Luke Shaw a little bit sloppy. Lindelof allowing him to, you know, get the shot away, get to your man, get a challenge in, and he didn't do that. And Leon Bailey scored a fantastic goal. I thought Harry Maguire did well today. Some great challenges to make blocks, to make late blocks, and to make late tackles, and that will do his confidence a world of good after we saw some of the boos that he got in Melbourne. Like I said, I agree with him being under pressure for his spot because I don't think, like many, he was good enough last season. But at the same time, I don't agree with fans booing our captain on a pre-season tour. Do you know what I mean? It just doesn't make sense to me at all. So it was good to see him put in a good shift today over there. Diogo Dalot, who we managed to speak to briefly after the game, gave us a few words which you can check out after you finish this review. I thought him and Jadon Sancho were excellent down that right-hand side, and they are building something there. And on the left-hand side, Luke Shaw came in today, and as we said earlier, did well for the goal. So Luke Shaw's spots on the threat. We saw Terrell Malacia play 70-odd minutes in the last game and do really well. Luke Shaw needs to be stepping up and putting in performances, and I thought he did that today. It was difficult, though, for anyone to really play well on the pitch. The pitch was chopping up. It was cutting up really badly. You could see little bits of it bubbling up and the passes slowing down and, you know, players sliding for miles on their asses as they slid across the pitch. But you know, United still put in a good first half performance. It was just a good first half performance, though. In the second half, we made some wholesale changes. It was good to see James Garner come out. It was good to see Hannibal Mejbri come out, Zidane Iqbal, etc., all getting an opportunity to play. But the performance in the second half, particularly defensively, wasn't good enough. And we allowed Aston Villa back into the game, and they managed to get that equaliser late on, which meant Manchester United's 100% record under Erik ten Hag on tour is over. We've obviously had 100% wins, but we are unbeaten under Erik ten Hag. Now, as we know, in pre-season, results don't really matter. It's all about getting to know each other as players, getting to know what the manager wants out of them, and getting to build those relationships in the new tactics between the players themselves, like we spoke about with Diogo Dalot and Jadon Sancho, building something down that right-hand side. We need to see all of the players building something. And I've seen positive signs from Bruno, Sancho, Rashford, Martial in the front four. I think that's something that we can work on. It'll be very interesting to see if Cristiano Ronaldo returns. Look, I don't think Cristiano Ronaldo will return to Manchester United. I don't think we'll see him in a Manchester United shirt. Again, if he was not for sale, surely he'd be out here on this tour. He's not. Interestingly enough, he made a post during half-time of the game of him training and stuff like that. I don't think Cristiano Ronaldo will be here, but it'd be interesting to see if he was available for that first game of the season. If he came back into the mix, would he start? I don't think so, because Martial, Rashford, Sancho have all had the opportunity to work under Erik ten Hag, all had the opportunity to get to know what Erik ten Hag wants out of them. Now, whilst they're not perfect and whilst they still need to build up a little bit more, and whilst Cristiano Ronaldo is a supreme goal scorer, I think those guys will be ahead of him in terms of fitness and in terms of tactically from the demands that Erik ten Hag wants of them. So a lot of decisions for the manager to make. He made an interesting comment after the game as well, when he was speaking to the press, and he said that he's not about getting a strong 11. He wants to build a strong squad that understand his tactics, so that when it comes to certain games, he can chop and change depending on the opponent, and that's what you want to hear. I've never been one of those guys that likes to see a guarantee. Of course, you want to see like a strong 11, and you want to see a back four that's regularly playing together, and a midfield two that are regularly playing together, and things like that. But you also have to chop things up and change things up for your opponents, and it was great to hear that from the manager. All in all, though, I do think it's been a successful tour for the manager and for the players. I do think some of the younger players that have come in, it was great to see James Garner getting minutes today because he's highly rated. We asked the manager in the press conference, about Hannibal Mejbri, about James Garner, what are his plans for them? And he kind of said, I can't really tell you what my plans are for them, whether we want to send them out on loan, whether we want them to stay at the club and fight for their spot, because I haven't got to see enough of them. Hopefully he'll get to see more of them in training. The likes of Zidane Iqbal, Tahith Chong, all these guys will be trying to get into the squad and stay in the squad. We've got a World Cup coming up in December, which is going to change a lot of things. Maybe you get injuries, maybe you have problems in certain areas, and one of those players can get an opportunity. They're all still very young, though, and they haven't got that maturity. And when playing in the Premier League is completely different to playing out here on a pre-season tour. We've seen Andreas Pereira, the pre-season Pirlo, tear it up many, many times before and not do it when it really, really matters. So those players will hope they can get an opportunity when the domestic campaign starts and when the competitive football starts. But they still need to keep working under the manager. And that's why it's great for him to get these young players in now, get them to know his tactics. He'll take them back to Carrington. Probably some of them will drop back into the 23s and come back up. It's going to be peaks and troughs for those young players. But they're getting to know the manager, and the manager's getting to know them and whether he can trust them in his squad. But all in all today, I thought it was a decent performance from the first 11. Not so good in the second half, but the pitch was abysmal. Do you know what I mean? For both teams, it was really, really bad. So you've got to take that into consideration too. All in all, 4 games on tour, 1 in Bangkok, 3 in Australia. 3 wins, plenty of goals for Manchester United, a few goals conceded, but I've been impressed or pleased by the performances of some of those defenders, especially Harry Maguire, who I thought did well today. David De Gea, a few errors. Hopefully he can iron them out of his game. But his distribution has been a little bit better, and he has been quicker in terms of distributing the ball at times as well. It was good to see Rafael Varane back in the mix today. I think Rafael Varane's massively important for Manchester United, and hopefully he can get fit and get into that starting 11. We've got Lisandro Martinez, Christian Eriksen to add to the mix. I think Terrell Malacia has been a good addition to the squad as well. We still need plenty more, though, in terms of transfers, don't we? Frankie de Jong or another midfielder needs to come in and get wrapped up. And we've got, a few other areas that need sorted. We're being linked to Anthony at the moment. We clearly need an attacker, because if we have an injury to Sancho or Martial or Rashford, then there's going to be problems for Manchester United. So all in all, I've been really impressed and pleased with Manchester United on this tour, even if there were a few issues today, mainly probably caused by the pitch. But all in all, so far, so good. We hope you guys have enjoyed our coverage as well of the pre-season tour. It's been absolutely amazing, to be honest, to be out here in Bangkok, in Melbourne, in Perth. Some of the Manchester United fans are absolutely mental, crazy, in a good way. And they've been bouncing about all over the place. They just love to get to see Manchester United. A lot of these guys have to wake up at 3-4 o'clock in the morning to watch us on television. And for them guys to see us in the flesh here today, absolutely amazing for them and on the pre-season tour. Some of the love that we've received as well, the amount of drinks that we've been bought and the amount of people that have come up to us for pictures or just to chat to us has been absolutely incredible as well. So thank you to everybody for the love, the hospitality that they've shown to us on this tour. Absolutely amazing stuff. But yeah, we are done here at the Optus Stadium. Manchester United have drawn 2-2 with Aston Villa. We've still got 2 more games to go in the pre-season tour. Probably one more, for 2 of the players, because on that weekend, next weekend, we've got one on Saturday in Oslo, and then on Sunday we've got a game at Old Trafford. I assume it won't be the same squad playing in those games, but both games will present an opportunity for plenty of these players to get a start and get minutes under their legs and hopefully impress the manager, because we're going to need a big squad this season. We've got Europa League football coming up, where some of these youngsters could possibly get a chance to shine there in European football as well. We saw what that done for Marcus Rashford. Remember that game against Midtjylland, where he comes in, scores a couple of goals. He's starting against Arsenal the following week. He's scoring goals there. He's really grasping his opportunity, and then he's part of the first team. Marcus Rashford getting another goal here. Are we going to give him that goal? If Marcus Rashford gets that goal, that means in every game he's played in Australia, even including 2019, he has scored, which is remarkable, isn't it? He even scored for England against Australia as well, which would mean his record against Australia and in Australia is absolutely phenomenal. Look, it's an own goal, but this is a pre-season friendly, so I'm giving it to Marcus Rashford. I thought Anthony Martial has been very, very impressive on this tour as well. He needs to take that into the competitive games. He's looking like he's got the confidence of the manager. He's looking really good in terms of his link-up play, his passing, his movement, his first touch, etc. is very, very good, and we know how good of a finisher he can be when he gets those opportunities, but he needs to keep it up. We've been here before with Anthony Martial, and we know how good he can be, but sometimes it can be frustrating as well. So fingers crossed, Marshall FC will be shining this season, and we'll get to see Anthony Martial tearing it up for Manchester United. I'm really excited to see that front four, continue to grow together. Bruno, Marshall, Rashford and Sancho. Sancho, I think, is proving what a good signing he's been. Last season was probably, 7 out of 10, 6 out of 10 for him. He was one of our better players throughout the season, although it was a dreadful season for Man United. And I expect he will continue to shine and continue to flourish for Manchester United this season. But what a day it's been. Incredible. The rain has finally stopped, it looks like, or is it spitting still? But it was raining sideways earlier on today. Absolutely mental. Check out our social media and stuff like that, our Instagram, our Twitter, because I put a few videos up of the rain. It was madness. But yeah, we are done here at the Optus Stadium. Thank you to everyone for tuning in. Thank you to everyone for keeping it locked during the pre-season tour. And don't worry, we've got plenty more coming your way, because we have, of course, got the season heading up very, very soon. And we've got those other 2 games as well, where Jay is going to be covering things in Oslo. So keep it locked. Like, comment, share and subscribe. And until next time, I've been Adam McKola. I'm out of here.